Okay, so welcome back to another video. In this video, we're going to be doing a review on the new-ish Bose SoundLink Plus, which I've got in front of me here. This is obviously kind of like a midway between the Bose SoundLink Flex and SoundLink Max, which I have done reviews on previously as well if you're interested in going to see those. So yeah, nice middle ground here. It's quite chunky, doesn't have the handle at the top like the Max, and it's not quite as big or wide, but it's got a more, it's more similar to the Max kind of dimensions than the Flex. But yeah, it's built very much the same. It's got that same kind of material on top, which I complained about last time for absorbing dust, and it does literally do the same thing. Every bits of dust and dirt just stick to it. I don't really know what, I guess they use this material because it's rugged. So it's almost like rubber, so it kind of bounces around, I guess, and it's not going to scratch, but it's really annoying in that if you put it on a carpet, it will pretty much never look the same again. It will just pick up pieces of the carpet and it's almost impossible to get them off. So yeah, not my favorite material, but here we are. Both seem to be sticking with it. You can pick this up in 3 colors. I think at the moment it's black, yellow, or this blue. And it's got a kind of little strap on the side there, so it's built very nicely. The build quality is nice. I'm not a massive fan of that material personally, but it is high quality and it doesn't feel cheap. All the buttons on the top have nice kind of travel and clickiness to them, and it's very basic. Apart from that, it's just got a USB-C port on the back for charging in and out, so it's a very basic build. Spec wise, it's got 1 woofer, 1 tweeter, and 4 passive radiators. So yeah, slightly odd. You don't normally see quite that many passive radiators to woofers, but anyway. Weighs 1.5 kilos, so yeah, a bit less than the SoundLink Max. It's in that kind of region where like it's portable, but it is a bit hefty, so depending on where you're carrying it and how you're carrying it, it might be a little bit annoying. But if you've got a little rucksack or something, you can just throw it in. It probably won't be too much of a problem. Sorry, do excuse the decibel meter thing I've got going on here. The other app, which I normally use, which is considerably better, doesn't seem to be working at the moment, so I've got this weird one up temporarily. The battery life on this is 20 hours, so pretty good, although it does seem to take an age to charge. It says 5 hours, and yeah, it definitely felt like that when I put it on. It just it just kind of sat there all day blinking. I thought it was broken for a while because I just thought, like, after 2 hours, I thought there's no way it can still be going. And then mine went on for like another 2 at least. So yeah, it has taken ages to charge, which is weird because I had it on quite a fast charger through that USB-C port. So yeah, I guess maybe just due to maybe they're trying to preserve the battery and things like that. Maybe it just charges slower, but yeah, it takes a long time to charge. But 20 hours of playtime is good. Although I found that if you play this at louder volumes, it definitely does suffer. The battery life kind of drops significantly. But yeah, you might not be doing that anyway, obviously. Bluetooth version is 5.4, so nice and new. Not going to have any problems with range or anything there. And it is IP67, so also shouldn't have any problems with dust or water, really. It does actually float as well, so you can launch it in a pool, do what you want. It's made to be used outside. That's the point of it. It's not an indoor speaker necessarily. It obviously can be, but it's made to be rugged and to brace the elements. I think it's probably good to do a sound test now. So I'll play royalty at 80% volume. Hopefully the decibel meter on the right gives you a vague idea of what's going on. But yeah, sorry, it's not quite as good as the normal one. Okay, so yeah, sound test over. Yeah, the frequency graph thing has disappeared, unfortunately, so you kind of have to pause it at the end of the, or somewhere in the song to see it. Unfortunately, this app doesn't seem to have that functionality. But yeah, it wasn't too bad. It was quite good on the high end, but you could tell it dropped off on the lows. I think it kind of, even around like 60 hertz on the low end, it was tailing off quite quickly, and I think you're probably not getting much less than 50 really, like at an actual audible volume anyway. It was dropping very low at that point, and that kind of sums up what I think about this speaker. I think the actual quality of the clarity and quality of the sound itself is what you come to expect from Bose. You know, the reproduction and everything is perfect. I think when you turn it up, you notice this more, but I don't think it's as good as the SoundLink Max at producing the low frequency kind of stuff. Obviously, as you'd expect, I suppose, but I think the amount or the difference that there is here is because this is 250 quid. The SoundLink Max is 350 to 400, maybe even less if you can get it on a sale. And I think that's kind of the big difference in these speakers. Obviously, the SoundLink Max is louder anyway, but it handles the bass and the lower frequencies much better. Like I noticed with the SoundLink Max, even at full volume, you still got a thump out of it, and it felt like a much bigger speaker. Whereas this doesn't quite give you that same sensation. It never really feels like a bigger speaker than it is. You know, you look at this speaker and then you turn it on and you're like, okay, that's what I expected. Whereas the SoundLink Max is, you turn it on and it's like, whoa, that sounds like it's coming from a much bigger speaker. But the low frequency and the bass in here, despite those 4 passive radiators, it's not, for me anyway, it's not producing deep enough bass, especially once you turn that volume up, you notice it much more. Obviously the treble gets much louder, and the lower frequencies just drop further and further behind, and you get to a point where you're not feeling the bass of the song that you know is there. So I would probably save up a bit more money or wait until the SoundLink Max is on sale and get that if you're after the Bose. If you want a Bose speaker, you want the Bose clarity, you want the ecosystem, then if you're stuck to a Bose, I would get a SoundLink Max. If your budget is 250, I think there are better options in this budget, that can do a slightly wider range of frequencies and slightly lower and thumpier on the bass end. I think you could get a JBL Charge or Extreme even for about this price, and they would produce the bass better than this does. They wouldn't have the clarity and the kind of premium feel to them in the sound, if that makes sense, seeing as they are JBL, but I think they do a better job at getting across everything, the whole frequency range at a similar volume, whereas this slightly tails off on the lower end. So it's not bad, but I think depending on the type of music you want to listen to and depending on what setting you're listening to it in, I think there are better options, and I think it might just be worth getting the SoundLink Max in this case. But let me know what you think. Did you get the same from the sound test? Have you tried one of these? Leave a comment.